fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the EG05 Earth Granner Tyrannotops Full Custom DX Set from Tomica Kizuna Gattai Earth Granner. So this is a big box of dinosaurs. We have 4 Gal Granners in here. We have Red Terra, we have Blue Terra, we have Tyrano, and Triceratops. And this is all the mecha for Granner G. You can see him right here, our 5th and final member of the team. Now we do have some other Earth Granners coming down the line. I think there's a new version of Red and Blue coming out a little bit later on. But this is kind of our last brand new team member. The other ones are kind of revamps of Lion and Eagle, which we'll get to later on. But this is awesome. First of all, who doesn't love dinosaurs? You know, it's all gold, the blue and the red, all the colors look great together. Granner G's fun. I'm really upset that he's not getting a vinyl. At least it looks like he's not getting a vinyl because we never got one for Jay, so I'm still kind of bummed about that. But this looks like a ton of fun. I think this set's going to be amazing. There's just a lot of possibilities here. So first off, here's the front of the box. Very colorful, very fun, very exciting. Taking a look at the top here, you can see again, we have the 4 Granners. And then we have this car, which is not included. But this is the Tyranno Tomica that I reviewed 2 days ago, I believe, at this point. And of course, that has compatibility with, we've already seen the brace and the handle, but now we're going to get to see it with the Gal Granner and the Earth Granner. So that's pretty cool. Taking a look over here on this side, if I can pan the camera up ever so slightly and not have the light be right on it. Again, we have the 4 Granners, we have the Earth Granner, and then we do have, this is kind of a generic cartoon advertisement for the show. Come over here to this side, and it shows again how the 2 Gal Granners make the Earth Granner, and then you have with the combination with the 2 Terras, and there's like a super mode, which we can see a lot better if we come around to the back here. So this shows you all the crazy things that we have going on here. So we have Gal Granner Tyranno. The Terras can ride on top of him. He can combine with Triceratops to make this kind of long trailer mode. Obviously, you can use Triceratops on his own. He can also hold the Terras. He can also carry some of the cars, which is kind of neat. You have these 3 different configurations. I believe this is Caliber, this is Knuckle, and this is Buster. We'll take a look at all those. This is the standard Gal Earth Granner, I should say. And then this is like the super version with everything attached Earth Granner. And then the 2 Terras have combinations with Lion and Eagle. I'm going to save those for the video where we review their cars, because they have special cars that go with these. So when I review those cars, I'm going to show off these for them. So I won't show these off today, but we will see them later on. And then again, just reiterating how the Tyranno Tomica does work, of course, with the Gal Granner Tyranno and then the Earth Granner Tyrannotops, which we will take a look at. So there's a lot to see here. This is crazy. This is a lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun configurations. And then I don't know if I showed off the bottom of the box yet, but there's not too much going on. It's mostly safety warnings and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead, get this box open, probably do a fair amount of stickering, because these do have some stickers to be put on. And then we're going to dive in and take a closer look at everything. So here are the 4 Gal Granners you get in the box. Obviously you have Tyrano and Triceratops, but you also have Red Terra and Blue Terra. And I just kind of positioned them like this just to get them all in the shot, because they honestly take up a lot of room. I have to be honest, the 2 pterodactyls are much bigger than I expected them to be. I really did not expect them to be that big. I thought maybe like the size of just the actual core body piece. I really didn't expect them to be this huge, but it's kind of cool. I mean, they look great. There's a lot of painted details, but obviously there's a lot of stickers as well, and I'll kind of point the stickers out as we go through. So right now I just kind of have, you can see I have them each pegged onto the back. You can stack them and peg them on either. We'll go through all that. There's a ton of different configurations and things that we can do with all this. I guess the easiest way would just be to go through each of them. Maybe I'll do the 2 pterodactyls first just to show them off, and then I'll show how they connect with everything else as we go through. But I at least just wanted to show everything you get in the box. And we do have these 3 crests. So this is the blue crest. This is obviously going to be for either the vinyl of Granner K or Earth Granner, I guess Earth Granner Eagle Shark. So this is really all we're going to see of this today. Again, this will come into play when I review those 2 special cars. And then very similarly, we have the red crest. So these are all in the box, even though they're not really used by, this Earth Granner. but they do include them so you can use them with the other releases, which I think is pretty cool. So here's the red one. And then the one we will actually see today is the combo one. And this is worn by both Granner G, but unfortunately we don't have a vinyl for him. And then this will be worn by Tyrannotops when he's got like all the armor attached, which is a really cool configuration we'll get to a little bit later. But I wanted to at least show off those head crests since the other two we won't really see for the rest of the video. So I just wanted to show that they are included in the box. So I think first we're going to take a look at the two pterodactyls. So here we go. Here are the two pterodactyls. And like I said, they're pretty massive. Just for a size comparison, here is the Tyranno Tomica. I honestly thought this whole thing was going to be probably about the size of just this core piece. I can't get over how big they are. But they look pretty cool, and they're fairly simple. They each have kind of a core piece. The wings snap on. These sword pieces snap on. You can see they have kind of a connector piece here. They have several pegs and peg holes down here. I love the headpiece. That's painted very nice and simple. All the green here is painted on, which is very nice. The only stickers, you have these two stickers, one on each wing. You have the red Terra sticker, one on each side. And then you have this kind of like little like thruster exhaust port, I guess you would call it. That's on each side. And then you also have the thrusters back here. That's one sticker. So really not too much going on as far as stickers. They look pretty good. And these pieces are going to come off and become weapons later on. You can see they kind of look like blades. Moving on to blue Terra. These are stickers here on the side. You have a blue Terra here. These stripes are a sticker. These stripes are a sticker. That's pretty much it. You have these blades up here. You have, I believe these are going to be cannons later on. So pretty cool. So like I said, they all have the same kind of connections underneath. So if you want to peg them on individually, you can. You can mix them up. Obviously, they're both going to connect to lion and eagle respectively. So we'll see that in a later video. But you can actually peg them together. You can see how he has a clip there and he has a clip there. So what you would do if you want to peg these together, you just slide these down here to the gray gun pieces. And they just peg in. It's just kind of an unpeg here, peg in over there. And then you connect this on top of here. So very simple, as you can see. And this is very much going to be used later on as far as the backpack for the robot. But you can also use this to connect to the different like Granner Tyranno, Granner Triceratops, as well as the like long combined trailer mode, which we'll get to later. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them in this configuration because we'll come back to them probably like this in a little bit. Next up we have Granner Tyranno. He looks great. I like the tail off the back, but I will admit that it's a little cumbersome and it kind of gets in the way. I'm going to unpeg it just for a little bit. You can see it just pegs into the back of what will become the robot head later on. But here is the, I guess, 4-segment tail. So you have a hinge here. When that connects into the back, then you have a ball joint there, a ball joint there, and a ball joint there. So you can get some pretty good posability out of the tail. But it's a little cumbersome. I'm just going to put it off to the side for a moment. So we can take a look at Tyranno. He's got this kind of giant cow catcher here in the front. This is a sticker. This is paint, but this is a sticker where it says Tyranno and then a little bit of red. Here is stickers. These are stickers. That's a sticker. Stickers underneath for the robot mode. You'll see more stickers as we go around, but pretty cool little vehicle mode. Rolls well. This is where you would open up to put in the Tyranno Tomica. So let's go ahead and make sure this is on. It is. I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on again just to reset it. And then we'll go ahead and plug this in so we can get the sound effects. Make sure that's in. There we go. So there you go. That is the connection into Granner Tyranno. Then we have some sounds we can cycle through. I really love that sound effect. I think we've gone around. Yeah, we've gone around. So there you go. The pretty good sound effects there. Really like the look of this one. I think the tail's really cool to have in this mode. It gets a little bit in the way, but I do think it's kind of neat. And then here, this connection here for the head, if you wanted to bring the pterodactyls back in, you have this connection underneath here, so you could sit it on there. Now, it takes a little bit to get it to peg on there, and it's kind of a pain in the butt, so I'm not going to bother with it too much, but that's where you would peg them on if you wanted both of them to kind of ride on the back there. So next up, let's take a look at Triceratops. So Triceratops is kind of basic. I mean, but let's be honest, most of the lower half of the robots are pretty basic. He looks pretty cool. He's got a cool little tank tread thing going on here. I do like the little Triceratops head. You can see the green eyes. This is stickers here, 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 here. All here and here. Some on the bottom, as you can see. So he's got a decent amount of stickers, but he looks pretty cool. And they're not too difficult to apply. He does have this kind of like bed area here where you can hold cars. So you can put a car on each side there. So that's kind of cool. I don't really know a ton of situations where you're going to need them to carry cars, but it can do it. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, there is a combine mode you can do if you go ahead and unpeg this and set that to the side. And then you're going to straighten out this section, kind of like you're transforming it into legs. But make sure that that stays pegged together there. And I need to actually straighten this out. Make sure the legs stay pegged together. And then you're going to rotate this around. I'm sorry, this way. So like that. Then you can see this little piece unhooks here, kind of like a trailer hitch. And then we're going to bring Tyrano back in. And he has a little peg right there. So you just go ahead and peg that on there. And then you're going to take the tail and plug that in right here. And then these two clips right here and here are going to peg in right here and here. They just kind of loosely clip on like that. And then there you go. This is the combined trailer mode. It's not amazing, but, you know, it's okay. And if you want to bring the pterodactyls back in, you can see the two pegs sticking up on the back of the feet. They're going to peg in right here and here. So you just peg that in like so. Except it doesn't want to peg in. There we go. So there you go. That way you can have literally everything stored together in this like long combined trailer, which is kind of neat. You can still kind of fit the cars underneath there too, so that's kind of cool. So there you go. You have a very long trailer combined mode. It's all right. It's, I don't know. It's not as exciting as I thought it would be, but it's not bad. It's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and start the transformation for the robot. Triceratops is going to be pretty easy. You're just going to go ahead and unpeg the Triceratops head from the front. Set that off to the side for the moment. You're going to straighten out the legs again, very much like we were doing the combined trailer mode. So just kind of stretch those out. You're going to flip this out, and then you're pretty much good to go. That is pretty much your legs. Very similar to most of the Earth Granners that we've seen, but we'll put that off to the side for the moment. Come back here to Tyrano, unpeg the tail, put that off to the side for the moment. Come to the front, unpeg this kind of cow catcher piece that is pegged into the two fists, very similar to how Lion transforms. So take this, put that off to the side for the moment. You can go ahead and flip out those fists. This front section is actually going to slide back. If I can get it to, there we go. So that slides back, and that gives you a really nice looking T-Rex head there with a nice opening and closing mouth, which is pretty cool. You're going to straighten out the hands. You're going to bring these forward. They're kind of pegged in. You can see that there's like the tiniest little tab right there and tab in there. You can go ahead and unpeg these. You will flip this around and spin the head around, but just don't kind of push that all the way in just yet. You're going to slide up the shoulders. Then you're going to push that up and slide it in like that. Do the same over here. Slide that in, and then just rotate this at the bicep swivel and kind of put them out to the side just so you have some room. So you pretty much have the top done. We're going to take these two pieces and peg them onto the front of the feet. And if you've transformed some of the other Earth Granners, you'll probably recognize these transformations. It's not incredibly different. So peg that in. You can come along to the back here, and there's a peg hole right there. You can peg in the tail, very much like so. And then this kind of cowcatcher piece is going to peg in right here and here with these pegs on the bottom. So just go ahead and pop that in like so. And then the Triceratops piece is actually going to peg in here. So you can see how there's kind of a bevel there. And that is where this piece, the peg underneath here, is going to kind of go in there. And it actually just kind of pops in pretty easily. And you can hear it kind of click into place. So there you go. So we have a complete transformation, but we need to go ahead and connect these so that we can get to the sound effects. So let me go ahead and connect these. And I'm going to tilt the camera up ever so slightly. This is going to connect into here. I kind of like to use the tail as a tripod because he's a little back heavy. But if we go ahead and get him all together there, we can push the head down for the transformation. So there you go. There's the transformation jingle. We have a couple more sounds we can cycle through if we keep pushing the head down. So that is Maha Caliber. That's one of his forms. We'll get to that in a moment. I think that was Maha Knuckle. Oh no, there's Maha Knuckle. So I think that other one that he said is... There's a Maha Buster too. I'm not sure what that second one was. There's Maha Buster. When he does that one with the, full charge with the wheels, you're supposed to slide this back out so they can spin and gather earth energy. So we may have gone all the way around. Yeah, we've looped around. I think he's saying Maha Tail, which is probably just whipping the tail around and hitting someone with it. So he does have a lot of various modes we'll get to in a moment. I wanted to go over articulation real quick. So head can swivel side to side. Shoulder has really nice ratchets. You can hear it clicking there. You have some out to the side movement in the shoulder, but it is hindered a little bit by these gigantic wheels right here. But you do have a nice ratchet there you can hear. You have a really tight bicep swivel. You have a double jointed elbow, as you can see. The wrists don't do anything. I think you have waist movement there. You do have a really nice ratchet in the hip out to the side as well. You have a thigh swivel there. You have double jointed knees. And then you do have some ankle play because you have, I think it's a ball joint in there. Maybe not a ball joint, but you can hear the nice ratchet. And then from side to side, you have a nice tilt. So really nice amount of articulation. Now, like I said, he is a little top heavy because he's got a lot going on. But you can hear those ratchets are just kind of like put his feet a little forward. So he's leaning a little forward, but it's really nice. I mean, it holds It's a really nice tight ratchet joint for a figure that's got a decent amount of weight to it, but it holds, and I think it looks really, really great. So before we get to the full custom mode, which is him combined with both of the pterodactyls, I wanted to show off those couple modes that we heard when we were cycling through the sounds. So for Maha Caliber, you just go ahead and unplug the tail, and then you just kind of straighten it out, and he uses it as a sword. So it just pegs into the hand here very simply. And then he just has a gigantic sword. If you really wanted to, you could take like one or two, chains out of the tail here and make it a little bit shorter sword. That's completely up to you. But that is Maha Caliber there. He just has the tail used as a sword. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this back in here. The next we have Maha Knuckle, which we just go ahead and unpeg this, the Triceratops head, from the shoulder. And you can see that it has a tiny little peg right there. You're going to peg that into the side of the hand. And again, it's a little difficult to find a good pose. I would recommend kind of tilting it up like this so you can get out of the way of these really gigantic wheels on the shoulders, getting in the way for a lot of things. But you just peg that in, and he just kind of uses it as a melee weapon. So that's Maha Knuckle, just having the Triceratops head on the forearm there as a giant melee weapon. Maha Buster, which I don't quite get, but all right. You take this piece, and you can see those clips, and you clip it into the exact same place that we had it for the combined trailer mode. So you just kind of put this around his head like this and clip it on there. And I don't know why that's Buster mode. I guess because he's got like weapons here. It kind of looks like cannons here. So, he just has that on his head and he fires the cannons. I mean, it's okay. It's a decent look. I just think it's a little goofy. I don't know. I'm kind of warming up to it, honestly, but I just think it's kind of funny, just like him putting on a hat. And this is the Buster mode. So again, Maha tail, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's just kind of him whipping his tail at somebody while it's connected on the back. At least that's my best guess. But yeah, those are the three modes specifically from the back of the packaging and that he mentions when you are cycling through those sounds. But yeah, I really like the look of this. I think it's a really cool looking robot. I think the color scheme works. The articulation's awesome. I love the T-Rex and the Triceratops, obviously. I mean, it's just a really cool robot. So this is probably my favorite one so far, and I didn't even get to the coolest mode yet. So let me go ahead and bring in the two pterodactyls, and we'll take a look at that combination. Alright, so it's going to be really difficult to keep this all in frame at the same time, but I'm going to do my best. So we're going to start here with Blue Terra, and we're going to basically just disassemble most of the parts. So we're going to take these two guns off that act as wings. Take those off, no problem. These blue pieces here, these kind of like blue square pieces, they just unpeg, so we're going to lift them off. Now you can see they're pegged on over these gray bladed pieces. You're going to actually bring them forward like so, not all the way, but about there. We're going to take red, and we're going to do very similarly. We're going to take the two square pieces off. We're going to take the gray blades off. There we go. We're going to take blue and connect it on top of red with that same clip we used earlier. So go ahead and clip that on. We're going to take these blue pieces, and we're going to... Oh no, they get pegged onto his back. So let's go ahead, bring this around, and you can see that there are two pegs, and they go right here and right there, and you can kind of see the natural bevel of the back, and that's where this silver piece is going to go. So you go ahead and peg that on like that. These blue pieces, you can see they have peg holes on the side. They are going to peg in, and again, I apologize because this is going to be difficult, but let me bring this back. They're going to peg in right here to the side. You can see that little gray peg right there. So that's going to peg in there. This is going to peg in over here, like so. And then you can kind of bring this a little forward about there. So let me have him. He's going to start getting really back heavy. So I'm going to kind of, I don't know, maybe bend him at the knee. We'll see how this goes. I might have to employ the tail as a tripod to make that, stand up there a little bit more. We're going to pan down a little bit because the next little bit's going to deal with his hands and knees. So we're going to take these red pieces, and peg them onto the front here, like this. You're going to take these gun pieces, and they're going to peg onto the side here. There's actually a little peg hole right there. So you just peg that in like this. And then the two blade pieces are going to peg into the forearms on these obvious peg spots right here. And then for the last bit, we're going to take that head crest from before and go ahead and pop that on. And let me try to move him back a little bit. Let me see if I can pan out here a little bit. That's probably the best I'm going to be able to do, but that's a really cool combined mode. So this is called Triceratops Full Custom. He's got both the pterodactyls attached. He's got the guns, the blades. It's a really cool looking mode. I think it's really, really neat. Really decked out. I mean, you can bring these a little bit closer down if you would like to kind of complete the look there. But it's a really cool mode. I like it a lot. I think it looks fantastic. He is totally decked out, ready to do battle, and he is a force to be reckoned with. I think this is an amazing set. This is honestly my favorite Earth Granner so far. I mean, first of all, it's dinosaur based. Who doesn't love dinosaurs? But I mean, the sheer amount of playability that this thing has. You have two different vehicle modes. You have a combined vehicle mode. You can attach the pterodactyls to all the different various vehicle modes. You have a base robot mode that has 3 different like weapon configurations. You have this crazy giant configuration with all 4 of the dinosaurs. And I haven't even shown you the red Terra and blue Terra configurations with eagle and lion. We're going to take a look at those in a later video. So there's so much playability with this thing. There's just a ton of fun packed into this. So many different configurations. You know, it's just crazy. Then they throw on top of that the Tyranno Tomica. You know, you can have compatibility with that. New sounds that get unlocked for both the Granner Tyranno and the Earth Granner Triceratops. So there's sound effects there. You have the head crest to be used with this, as well as lion and eagle. There's just so much packed into this. I mean, it is a fairly expensive set, I'll be honest. If I remember correctly, it was somewhere in the area of like 75 to 80 on Amazon Japan. That's where I got mine. For whatever reason, Hobby Link Japan kind of stopped carrying these, or they would get them like way later on when I've already got them from Amazon Japan. But Amazon Japan shipping, fairly reasonable price, I thought. I grabbed this and a couple of the smaller cars, the Tomicas that I was missing, so it was worth it for me for shipping. But this is a great set. If you can afford it, I recommend it. If you're going to pick up one Earth Granner set, this is the one that I recommend. There's a ton to do here. There's a ton of playability. If you happen to have the previous Lion and Eagle, you know, there's compatibility with that as well. So there's just a ton to do here. It looks great. Really, really neat. I love everything about it. I don't even really have anything bad to say. I don't think I have any complaints, honestly. There's a ton of stuff going on here, and it's a ton of fun. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.